Hey guys, I've been super busy lately, but I wanted to take some time to share these locks with you because I found them and I thought they were just really interesting. The locks themselves don't look too crazy, it's just the keys that make this so noteworthy. I don't know the name of the company, it just has these two torches on the lock. So I'm going to call these the Two Torch brand padlocks. I will feature each of these locks in a separate section, so I'll get started. Okay, so for this first padlock, it is a 40mm brass padlock, and the keys are a hybrid. They are like a hybrid of a circular dimple lock here. It's got a hollow center, like a pipe key to accept that bar in the middle of the keyway there. And if we count the pins here, we see count the cuts on the key, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 cuts on the key, and 3 of those cuts are within the threaded section there. So if we operate the lock, we're going to have to we'll use the yellow one because that one looks most like fire. I love like themed keys. So if you stick the key in here, you're going to have to start threading into the back of the lock. And you're just going to have to keep going, and then once it threads all the way, all the pins should be aligned with the cuts on the key, and you can open the lock. So some of you might have seen my Saint Fire corkscrew key lock video. And of course this is a similar mechanism, and it even, Saint Fire even has like a torch on the key and everything like that. But I don't think these are the same company because, the Saint Fire had a totally different logo and even had the name written on the lock. So this is definitely a different company, but they did take that idea of the corkscrew key. I know that the corkscrew key style locks are in really high demand, but I cannot find them. I've been looking all over the place. This is the only other one I found, and this is actually pre-sold. So I'll be shipping this off to Salt Lake City, Utah pretty shortly after this video. But just as a side note, some people complain and say like, oh, who wants to like screw their key in like this? And I could agree with that. It takes much longer than a normal key. But, to be honest, I have not found a way to pick this lock. Every single time I try to get back deep into the lock to get to these pins that are on the threaded section, I just can't do it. The pick doesn't fit. So, there must be some sort of tool you can craft, but definitely not a standard lock pick because it's just too tight in there and it's too hard to feel around, at least for me. So, anyway, the Two Torch corkscrew key circular dimple lock. Okay, so here's the second brand of the Two Torch padlocks. This is a 50mm brass padlock. It's also got this really nice shiny finish on it, which I enjoy. The keys are all brass, no plastic, and they are shaped like torches as well, which I think is really cool. But the thing that makes these really interesting is the cuts on the key, because these are like the normal dimple cuts on the key, but if you look, there is a huge zigzag or a Z cut into the center of this lock, and that makes the operation of the lock kind of interesting. And you'll see here while I operate it, I'm going to stick the key in, and I'll zoom in here, and you'll notice that the cuts will go surround the top row of pins and then get stopped on that 90-degree turn. Now you got to turn the key and then complete the pushing in of the key, and now everything's lined up and you can open the lock. So if you were going to do that in fast motion, it'd be like 4 steps. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it opens. So weird and interesting idea. You got to reverse the process to get the key out. And the only thing I can think about why they would do this is that you know, the pins, since these do surround the pins, it's like these are like the deepest cut of the key, you know, like, oh, you know, the pins hang all the way down, so if you touch them at all, they'll be overset. I guess, you know, I don't know how effective that is, but, you know, I think that's what they were trying to go for. I guess I'll call this the 4-step zigzag key. Yeah, I had another one of these that's for my private collection that I tried picking, and I was making progress. I was setting pins, but I don't know what I did. I bent something out of place or something, and you know, the lock still works, but the key just doesn't work as smoothly. So the one in my collection, I just stopped picking. I don't want to mess with it because these are really, really, really hard to find. I only have 2 of these, so I'll probably be putting one on eBay, and maybe the other one, I don't know. So check my eBay if you're interested in this. But yeah, I kind of don't want to pick this one because if any other collectors out there want it, I want it to be in good shape. So there they are, the 2 Torch brand brass padlocks with wacky keys.